Here's 20 random tricks I know you didn't know in Marvel Rivals. If you guys know me, you know I don't like wasting your time, so I'm gonna be firing off these tricks, but real quick before I do, I quickly ask for a like on this video since you guys killed the last like goal. Let's see if we can get this video to 2,000 likes, and again, thank you guys so much for the support. But anyways, let's get to this. And trust me, I guarantee you I'm gonna show you something you didn't know about this game. I'm not gonna be covering mainstream, more obvious stuff that people already talk about, because I actually do want to show you guys stuff you didn't know, and some of this stuff I just straight up found on my own. And some of this will help, especially if you're on my team and ranked. Please, God, pay attention to the Mantis tip. But with that said, let's start with number 1, and that is for Namor. Did you know that his ult, when used, has a big circle radius? And when it's casted on an enemy, it disables all of their movement abilities. On top of that, the inner circle does 500 damage, while the outer circle only does 200. But the main function of this ult is really disabling their movement abilities, because with that, you can almost guarantee a hit on some heroes that really rely on their movement. And as a final bonus for Namor, headshots increase the rate of fire for his octopus, so keep that in mind when you're playing with him. The next trick I want to show you is with Punisher, and this is something I accidentally found out on my own, and I don't even know if people know about this yet. His grapples, when set up correctly, can really get you back in the fight quick, but so many people aren't using them correctly, because when you leave spawn, by shooting them backwards, you can get a huge launcher and a boost of speed. You might even be able to find a way to b-hop out of this, but the better you can place this, the more effective it will be, and you can get back to the fight so quick. So when you leave spawn with Punisher, instead of shooting them forward, just leave spawn a little bit, turn around and shoot them back at your spawn, and then next time you respawn, you'll be able to fly back into the fight. The next tip I have is for Penny, and this is important whether you play her or not, so pay attention. Her spider mines work in a way of if you step inside her webbing at all, they will track you and blow you up. But did you know that they'll follow any kind of webbing she makes? So by tracking all of her webs to her spider nest, she can track people from even farther away. This makes her ult really good when it's connected to her spider's nest, because people won't be able to take them out if it's placed around a corner, and she can use them all the way to your spawn. So if you're not playing as her, just try avoid stepping on the web. The next tip I have is really important for all ranked play, and it's kind of what I was hinting at earlier about Mantis. When Mantis uses her sleep on somebody, they can stay sedated for about 5 seconds. But if you see your teammate is asleep, you can shoot them out of it. Just shoot the purple form of them behind them and it will wake them up. This can catch Mantis off guard and can get them killed. But on top of that, you can just keep your teammates alive and make sure they're in the fight still. So share this to your friends so they know. For the next trick, a pretty strong ult in this game right now is Jeff's ult. I've seen it kill so many people and shut down so many pushes. So in a game where counter ults are so important to use, if you're playing a character like Hela, for example, hold your ult and wait until you hear Jeff's ult. And Hela's ult is a perfect counter to keep your teammates alive and kill Jeff. All you have to do is hit his fin, and the splash damage is so big you'll definitely hit it. Next, for 6, Cloak and Dagger is a highly picked support hero right now. So it's not a surprise you've probably been hit by Cloak and Dagger's blinding attack. But being blinded by this attack is not the only thing that happens to you. When you're hit by it, you turn purple, and while you're in that period of time, you're considered vulnerable, and you take increased damage. On top of the fact that you can't already see, you're also taking more damage, so it's best to just take cover during this time and not trying to fight. Next, for 7, while I'm talking about Cloak and Dagger, let me also teach you this. If you're in cloak form, when you're using this ability, you can actually fly up with this, and this can help you get to high ground or get back to your teammates. On top of that, this ability blocks you and all teammates from damage. So if you can time this correctly, you can save your entire team from certain ults like Iron Man, but that's all about timing. Next, for 8, this one's a lot more mainstream, and I cover this on my Doctor Strange video, but in case you haven't seen that video on that or any of the other ones, Doctor Strange's portals don't only have to be used for travel. If you position them well enough and you have someone like a Punisher or a Hawkeye on your team, this portal can be used to shoot through, and if you position it above or behind the other team, you can try and get some picks off this and destroy their hold on the site. But if you want a bunch more tricks and tips on Doctor Strange, check out this video on my channel. It will make you a very strong player at Doctor Strange. For number 9, this is another Doctor Strange tip, but something I didn't cover while making my other video because I didn't even know this. When Doctor Strange uses his ult, you'll notice that people get sent flying back like they do in the movies. That form of them getting sent back can actually take damage on top of the real version of them. This means AoE attacks can do double damage, and since Doctor Strange has a great AoE attack, this makes pairing that with his ult a great combo for damage. But even if you're not Doctor Strange, someone that has splash damage like Iron Man can get great value by shooting in between the two for even more damage. The next 3 are more out of game tips and tricks, so I'm gonna fire these off pretty quickly. So for number 10, by clicking B on your keyboard while playing, you can view what's destructible around the map. This can can help you get new angles or flank routes. For number 11, at the main menu, by clicking the icon on your top right, you can click achievements and see the list of things you can do for free rewards. If you do enough of these, you can even buy free skins in the store, or you can just straight up get skins by doing this. But the trick here is to click the present icon, and this will actually show you the progress and the unlock tree to your next reward. The next trick I want to show you to wrap these three up really isn't a trick, it's just something I found out, and I figured maybe a lot of people didn't know this themselves. If you look at the scoreboard and you see the ace icon pop up on someone's name, this means that they're currently the MVP or the SVP of your team. For number 13, a lot of people use Moon Knight, and this one might be another kind of known trick, but in case you don't know this will help you a lot. Shooting the grapple at your feet instead of walls will shoot you up even higher. I'm not sure why this is the case, but just make sure you're shooting it at your feet if you want to get up somewhere. Next, for number 14, Wolverine was a very slept on character by the community for the first week of its release, but as time has progressed with this game, he's become very important to the meta. In very high elo lobbies, he's even getting banned sometimes, and that's because of his tank shredding ability. Wolverine is best used to grab tanks and bring them away from their team or out of their position. And as Wolverine, you can absolutely shred these tanks because of that. This is a small touch on how he works, and I might go more in depth with a full guide on him, and I'll show you how the top 500 people play him. If you guys want that, just let me know. Next, for 15, Black Widow is also another slept on character, but she's not as useful as Wolverine. Although if you were thinking about playing her, this is a very nice combo you can use to get kills on certain heroes. The only problem is you have to go into melee range with her, but if you kick someone as Black Widow, if you use that same abilities button again, you can grapple them to kick them again, and this will slightly stun them, and if you hip fire the headshot, you can get good damage out of this and most of the time kill a smaller enemy. For the next tip at 16, this is one I've seen a lot of people not even know, and it's for Groot. His walls are the main part of his kit, and it's what you're playing him around, but did you know that they can actually attack? If Groot hits an enemy near one of his small walls, the wall will give them an additional swing. The hitbox is a little weird on this, so just keep that in mind if you're playing Groot. And while that's nice, his bigger wall will also give you and your allies bonus health as long as you're hitting an enemy next to it. This can make Groot stack up to 1100 HP, which is pretty good for a tank. So just keep that in mind when you're going against a Groot or playing with a Groot. If you saw my Hela video, you will probably already know this one. But for trick 17, if you shoot Hela's piercing night projectiles at Hulk, once he's transforming back into Bruce, because of the delay on the explosions, you can almost secure a kill on him. This will basically make him one shot after, and you should always get this kill because of that. Tip 18 is for Venom, and this is because of the misconception on his shield ability. With Venom, it was thought that the lower the HP you have, the more shield you would get, and that's because that's the way it used to be. But now, no matter what HP you're at, if you use this ability, you get 900 health. So don't try too hard to min-max this, because at the end of the day, you'll get sent to 900 anyways, but definitely try and use this ability as low as possible. For tip 19 it's in the practice range, and this is if you want to have fun with your friends or try out a new hero. In the shooting range, if you hit pause, you can turn off both friendly fire and ability cooldowns. The friendly fire turn off is really fun because you can go in there and just mess around with your friends, and turning off the ability cooldown will not only help you learn new heroes, but you can also do some crazy stuff because of some heroes' abilities. And on top of that, there's a shooting range and the practice range for that one guy that didn't know. For my final trick at number 20, it's that if you're playing Adam Warlock, you don't need to use your ult over your dead teammates. Please, for the love of God. I am so tired of Adam Warlocks reviving me over top of the fight with half my health and I just die again. You can use your ult in a safe spot and then walk to the area they died. And if you do it right, it'll respawn them where you popped your ult at. If you do this over top your teammates, you're just getting them killed again. Well guys, that's gonna do it for this quick video. I think you definitely should have learned something throughout this video because there's just a lot of random and advanced tricks in here. If you made it to this point in the video, comment Warlock so I know to thank you in the comments. Also, if we get 2,000 likes on this video, you guys are seriously awesome, so thank you so much, especially for helping me get the like goals I wanted in the last two. As this video is ending, comment a trick that you think people won't know in the comments, but other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm out, bruh. Peace.
I'm gonna need non-stoppers. I'm gonna need non-stoppers.
Here you go. Maximum pulse. Jarvis, clip that.